Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Make Art with Mrs. M. So, we're talking about the primary colors and we're talking about how colors mix. And I thought because it's fall, it'd be great to do a pumpkin that looks like a color wheel. So, let's get started. The very first thing I'm going to do is take my piece of paper and add my pumpkin's stem somewhere in the middle. I think I'll turn my paper this way so it fits better on the camera. And I'll start in the middle with a V, a very wide V shape, and then curved lines that come up and connect for the stem. Then I'm going to add 4 curved lines. One going east, one going south, one going west, and one going north from the stem. Now each of these will be divided into 3 sections. Let me move this a little bit. Each of these will be divided into 3 sections. So I'll need 2 lines here. So let's do it, 2 curved lines. 1, 2. 2 curved lines here. 1, 2. 2 curved lines here. 1, 2. And notice my lines go all the way from the stem to the edge of the paper. And then 2 curved lines in this section. 1 and a 2. Good. Now they're not all even. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I think it'll look pumpkinish once we're done and add details. So, the very first thing I'll do is add the primary colors to this. Now the red I have here looks very much like pink if I don't add a lot of layers. So I'm going to start with the primary colors. Just pick a spot, any spot. I'll go with this one. This one will be where red goes. It has, straight out of the bottle, it has just a pinkish color. But I think if I add enough coats of it, it gets dark enough. It looks red enough. But maybe on camera it looks great for you. Now I know I'm getting a little bit of mess on my desk, but I always clean up behind myself. It's part of the art making process. All right, I'm going to rinse my brush well, and usually I start with yellow, but since there was already a little red on my brush, I just went for it. I'll glide it across the side, the edge of the bucket to get the excess off, and I'm going to leave 1, 2, 3 spaces blank in between, and then this one will be my next primary color, which I'm going to go with yellow. I'm leaving the spaces blank because that's where the secondary colors and intermediate colors will go. All right, rinse again. I like to get the primaries, then do the secondaries, and then do the intermediate. So bear with me while I do this. Next color is blue. Again, count 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and the next one will be blue. And you'll notice that there will be 3 blank spaces between each of the primary colors if you count off this way. This is a very nice blue. It's very smooth. I've had blue come in the gallon before that was very chunky. This one is smooth. Love it. All right, so I like to smooth out my brush strokes to make everything lay down nice and look lovely. Yes. Okay, so I think the blue looks good. And I'll rinse my brush again. Now the water might get murky, but for me that doesn't bother me too much, as long as I know I've wiped the edge of the bucket and I can see that my brush is still clear. Clear. Next I'm going to start with secondary colors, and I'm going to go around in the same order where I started. And because red and yellow make orange. I'm going to skip a space and make orange right here. And same thing from yellow. I'm skipping a space. This won't be painted. This one will. So I'm going to grab a big blob of yellow, and I'm just going to mix right there on my paper. So a big blob of yellow, rinse my brush, rinse, 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 and get some red added in there. Now that's kind of light, so I might need a little bit more red. So when I'm doing it, I'm just tapping the edge of the red, getting a little bit more. Now I don't want it to be too light and I don't want it to be dark. I want it to definitely be right in the middle, right in between yellow and red. Lovely. And I make sure that it's mixed well, so I'm just going to go over it again, smooth it out, and make sure it's mixed well. Nice orange, right? Very fallish orange. And my water in the bucket is turning murky and brown because all the colors, all three of the primary colors mixed together does make brown. And that's what we'll do last for the stem. So, next, I'll turn this way. Next, we'll do green. We're skipping these spaces, and green goes here. So I'll grab a blob of yellow and do like I did before. Now I always start with the lighter color, the lighter primary color, so that I can add the darker color as I need to without getting the color too dark. If I start with the darker color, it's harder to take the darkness away. Now that green is kind of light. Let me see. Just a little bit more blue. Ooh, yes. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. So what happens next is purple. And again, I'm going to start with the lighter of the two primary colors. Now I'll be starting with red. This, when it's all done, looks so cool. So I'll start with some red. That's a smaller space. I don't need so much. And I'll grab some blue. I think I need a little more blue. Just the tip of my brush in there. Get the blue I need. I love this. So this red that looks kind of pinkish makes the most beautiful purple. It's usually what I order, but it looks a little different. This color red looks different this year, and the purple looks better than it has in years past. And that's something. I like it. It's a very grape soda, grape Kool-Aid looking purple. Perfect. So now the tertiary colors are the ones, or intermediate colors are the ones that come in between. So this is purple, which is also known as violet, and this is red, so I need to make red violet, I need to make blue violet, I need to make blue green, and yellow green, and yellow orange, and red orange. Maybe I shouldn't have rinsed my brush so well, because I need to. All right, so I'm going to start with blue violet. So I'm going to put a lot of blue down and just a little bit of red. In different ratios, you'll see the difference. So this will start to look really darkish, dark purple. I need more blue because it's too watered down. Maybe I didn't wipe my brush off so well. Looks too watered down. And I'm just using the tip of my brush to get a little bit more color. So this is a darker, deeper violet, blue violet. Blue violet. Gorgeous. There are some flowers that are this color, not sunflowers. Some flowers that are this color I think are just so beautiful. And yes, I'm getting it on my desk, but that's okay. Wow. Lovely. And rinse my brush a little bit. And when I do red over here, I'll just take a little bit of blue for the, yes, red violet. So that's a little, maybe I need just a tiny bit more blue. Yes. Beautiful. This color just makes me think of like plums, fresh fruit. So it's deeper than the red. It's got a little blue to it. Get all the way. Yes. All right. You see what I'm doing here, right? Okay. So if you're following along and you're painting with me, guess what? You'll probably have to pause the video a little bit. So here I'll start with red. A little bit more red. And then yellow. Just a little bit of yellow. So that this can look like red orange. Oh, that's still very red. I need more yellow. Help! Like I was telling you before, it's kind of hard to make a darker color lighter. Okay. There. There. Oh gosh. Good save. Good save. So this is red orange. It's darker than orange. It's in between the orange and the red. Ooh, it's pretty. Very much like fire. It's just ablaze. Right? Lovely, huh? Rinsing my brush. My water is looking gross, but my brush is still able to get clean. I don't see anything there on it. So next, yellow orange. So I'm going to grab a bunch of yellow and more yellow and a tiny bit of red and see what happens when I mix it. Yes, that's yellow orange. It's going to be lighter than orange and darker than yellow. So I need more yellow, add it in, smooth it out. These colors on the pumpkin are just beautiful, and I was thinking of something that's round that could be a color wheel. I've done a sea turtle with the color wheel on its shell before, and that was fun, but this right here I think is more fun for this time of year. So as we're going, if you are working along with me, I hope you see how the colors are relating to one another, and you're using colors that are beside the empty space to guide what hue that you add here. So I need more yellow. Oops, I got a little orange in there from that. Ugh. All right, I hope that doesn't show too much, but no worries. Doing my best. All right, I'll put a little blue in here. Oh no, it's kind of too dark. I'm going to take my brush and rinse it, because this green almost looks exactly like the green right there, and I want it to be in between these two colors, these two hues. So I'm going to get way more yellow than I had before. Wait, I think I need more. And mix it in and see if I can lighten it. I can lighten it. So I can have like a spring green. Okay, I think I've got it, guys. I think I've got it. That's better. That's better. And I like to go along with the curves, the curved lines that I drew for the sections to help guide how I do my brush strokes. So I'm going in the direction of the curved lines that I drew for each section. So there's the yellow green. All right, last one is blue green. And so I've already got this on my brush. I think I'm just gonna put this here and grab a bunch of blue to work it in. See? Well, that's blue green, yes. I need a little bit more blue. Okay. This is definitely blue green. It's definitely blue green. I think I need it a little bit more bluish. So I add more blue. I just want more blue. I need it to be more bluish. Good. Yes. Beautiful. Green is my favorite color. I like all of these greens, but But the red and the orange do make me feel happy too. Okay, all the way to the edge of my paper, I'm gonna hold in one dry spot to get that smoothed out. All right. So the last place there is going to be brown. And remember how I said the water is turning brown because all the colors are mixed together in there? So I still have blue and green on my brush, so I'm going to mix that right there in the middle, get a little red, grab more yellow, and grab more blue, and mix it all together. And keep mixing and mixing until I get something that looks like brown. Now that doesn't look very brown, it looks very green. And what's opposite from green is red, so I'm going to get a little bit more red to kind of brown it up a little bit. And so that almost looks like brown, but it still kind of looks yucky. So I'm going to add yellow because yellow always makes things just a little better. All right, I think I like that brown. I think I do. A little bit more yellow. Yes. Now that brown looks more like nutty brown. Yes. And so now that I like it, I'm going to add it right there. Oh, that looks better on the paper than it did on the plate even. So I did all this with 3 colors, the primary colors. The primary colors were all we needed to make this whole pumpkin, this color wheel pumpkin, look so amazing. Voila. Now, I am going to say this is one that I did, the very first one that I did, and the white highlights and the shadows I used with the black were with a color stick, with like a colored pencil right on top of this tempera paint, and it shows up so lovely. And I just put them on there wherever I felt like a highlight might go, and added some shadows around the outside so it could look a little bit more round. Then I worked on another one just a few minutes ago. It's still kind of wet, even though I cut it. I cut the paper when it was wet. I'm silly. I worked on this one to see what it would look like if I actually cut it out in like a pumpkin shape. And I really like this too. So I'm going to let this one dry before I glue it down to a larger piece of paper and keep it around for a while. But this is a great reference for a color wheel to look at this wonderful pumpkin. It's a pumpkin of different hues, starting with the primary colors, adding the secondary colors, and then the intermediate colors or tertiary colors, however you like to call it. But however you do this with your tempera paints, just have fun and practice mixing. So your eyes will be trained to see differences in different hues and to be able to tell the difference between like violet and blue violet or violet and red violet. Your eyes will pick up on those things. The cool thing about crayons is quite often the names are written on them, but when you are painting, you have to see how to do those things yourself. So this was fun and it was a learning experience, and I hope that you had fun too. Come back and join me again when we'll have another painting experience, mixing colors possibly, and making cool things. Art makes you smart.